Hello guys, this weekend it's Manchester United versus Southampton, so let's get into it. Let's cue that intro. Oh no, and welcome back to Matchday Live, and it's me Dan back again, and this weekend it's Manchester United versus Southampton. It's the 2 o'clock kickoff on Sunday. So the team I've gone for, I think it kind of picks itself. I reckon it will be Rashford, Weghorst and Anthony. Could be different because obviously, we played the Europa League game. So if it's different, then probably we'll see Garnacho and Sancho maybe, and then Weghorst up top with Fred, and obviously Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes, and then obviously at the back will be Luke Shaw, Martinez, Varane, Wan-Bissaka, and De Gea. Unless Ten Hag rotates it, he might rotate it, but I don't think he'll rotate it that much. So yeah, that's the team. So let's get into it and let's play match and let's talk about. I don't want to talk about it. Let's talk about our last Premier League game. Yeah, we lost 7-0 to Liverpool. Yeah. All I can say is that we just let it. They just kind of gave up. Well, they didn't give up, obviously. They just lost all, they just lost all of their confidence, and Liverpool saw it and they took it. We was there for the taking, and I'm not surprised that we lost 7-0 in the end. With all the errors and stuff, second half, it was just ridiculous. I will talk about the first half. First half wasn't too bad. I think we had the better chances, obviously, because they only had that one shot on target, obviously, where they did score. But yeah, it was. I don't know. Rashford. It was Bruno Fernandes with the header back across. It wasn't a bad. That was a chance, and then the Rashford chance. I mean, he's got to take a touch there and score that. But in the end. It didn't really work out, and obviously we played We played what's his name on the left-hand side, Bruno Fernandes. We can't do that against big teams again. It worked okay. It worked against Barcelona, but in the Premier League we can't do that. It's not going to work against the It's not going to work against the big teams, and yeah, we just got found out. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes had a header and Rashford had a chance, but before Gakpo went on and scored, which was kind of the first nail in the coffin. I thought we were growing into the game that second half, that first half. Liverpool had that first 5-10 minutes, 15-20 minutes, and then all the rest of the second half showed United were growing into the game, and we was just lacking that, perfect chance, perfect goal. Okay, we, like I said, we had those two chances, but, we were, Liverpool weren't really, they weren't making David De Gea David De Gea wasn't really tested, until, literally, 3-4 minutes before half time. They got a goal through Gakpo, and in the end, that, like I said, it was first nail in the coffin, and it was just poor defended. Fred got done, Varane got done. It was just poor defended, and then obviously they scored. It was 1-0 half time, and then literally a couple minutes later, the second goal was just dreadful. It was just dreadful, and the defending, Casemiro, Luke Shaw, they just, tried to tackle. They got the ball at one point, and then they just passed it back to them. It was just over the place, and then obviously they got the third goal, and then they got the fourth goal. And but to be honest, by the third goal, I just, I stopped watching. I've watched the highlights. Since then, but it was just so poor from United. From what we've seen, and even Ten Hag said that it was so unprofessional, and yeah, it was just a poor performance in the end. So yeah, we lost 7-0. Okay, it's only 3 points, but it was against Liverpool. You just can't do that at Anfield. Don't give them, you know, these errors. Don't give them the time and space on the ball. Don't give them all that. And you know, obviously they pressed high. It was you know, the Liverpool from like a year ago, 2 years ago, where you know, they were up for the title. Um, yeah, it was just, I don't know. It just showed that maybe we're not ready. Maybe we're not ready to be, you know, Premier League champions. Because obviously, if you want to be Premier League champions, you can't play like that. And it just shows you that how that game was just ridiculous. So yeah, we lost 7-0. That's that really. You can go watch the highlights if you want, but that was that. So on to the next game where we expected, you know, a response is against Real Betis. We're at home. Obviously, Real Betis can be a bit of a dodgy team, obviously managed by Manuel Pellegrini. So you know, he knows Manchester United, obviously from his Man City days. So you know, I was expecting a hard game, and it started really well with the Rashford goal, and then our own errors, you know, cost us another goal, and it's looking like, you know, we are giving errors away, especially David De Gea. David De Gea last night was just ridiculous with the ball. He was so poor with the ball. We almost went into half time 2-1 because of his back. Almost his, you know, one of his passes went to their team, and we thankfully it hit the post. But yeah, we were so unlucky. So lucky not to go lose, you know, 2-1 at half time. But in the end, second half we came out, and it showed, you know, it was the Man United from the last couple of weeks. You know, we dominated the ball. We didn't. They hardly had a kick, and we got the goals. Second goal was a great goal from Anthony, and then obviously, what's his name got a goal. Bruno Fernandes got a goal from a header from the corner, and then obviously Weghorst got a goal, which I think he deserved. Bless him, because he's been, you know, he's had these chances, Weghorst, and he's either it's been a good save from a goalkeeper, or you know, he's had loads of chances to score in loads of Premier League games, but he just hasn't had that finishing touch. And obviously, he got a goal last night, which is nice to see. And actually, talking of that goal, how well was Pellistri when he came on? He needs to start. I think he needs to start instead of some players, because he looks like the proper. Oh my God, Vegas has got a hat trick. I'm pretty sure that's a hat trick. Yeah, you know, Pellistri looked really good, and he showed what he can do on that right hand side in that last 10 minutes he was on. But you know, he should start more games, I think, because he looks like a talent, and he's just not getting played, obviously, because Anthony's playing there. But with Pellistri, you can go. He looks like he can go, you know, down the wing. He can use his pace. He's got some pace there. You know, he can put in a cross, and it showed that last night. So you know, he deserves a start at some point. Whether or not it'll be against Southampton this weekend is another question. But obviously, there's that. Talking of Southampton, we do have them this weekend. They are on a bit of a run so far. Obviously, they're still. I'm guessing they are still bottom of the Premier League. No, they're not actually. They're joint bottom with Bournemouth. But they have won their last couple of games. Obviously, they won their home game, and they did beat Chelsea a couple of weeks ago. But you know, they did lose in the FA Cup, and they did lose last weekend as well. But obviously, since they've appointed their manager, their caretaker manager or whatever, I think he was he was the assistant, wasn't he? He's kind of took over, and he's kind of got them playing, because he's not, you know, they're not conceding goals like they. Oh my God, you know, they're not conceding goals like they used to. You know, they've played pretty well. You know, they've scored goals as well. They've scored the one goal, but you know, it's going to be a test for United, because you know, Premier League's different to the Europa League, and you know, if Ten Hag does rotate it, which I wouldn't be surprised if he does, but then. Obviously, we are winning 4-1 in against Betis, so he might rotate the team then. So we could see the same team that faced Betis and Liverpool, but I reckon there might be a few changes in that team. Like Wan-Bissaka, I put Wan-Bissaka in instead of Dalot because I think Wan-Bissaka offers a bit more from Dalot, and I think he offers us a bit more defensively, whereas Dalot doesn't really much. So I wouldn't be surprised if Wan-Bissaka starts this weekend. But it is going to be a hard game. But obviously, it is Southampton. If we get the first goal, then I reckon we will win the game. But it's going to be a hard one. It will be a hard one. And obviously, we do have the second leg of that game against... we do have that second leg against Real Betis coming up after the Southampton game. So if we can get 3 points, that would be great. And obviously, I haven't really talked about the ownership as well. Oh, he actually got 4 goals without Weghorst. I'll tell you what, it would be nice to see him get his first Premier League goal for United this weekend. That wouldn't be too bad. There is talk of Martial coming back as well, but I don't think he's that ready for this game. So you never know. So score prediction for the Southampton game, I'm not too sure. Yeah. Also, talking about the ownership, there's still talks of obviously Qatar and what was it? Qatar and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and then obviously there's new players about. There's new contenders for buying Manchester United. Apparently, the Elliott Management something group. Apparently, they're offering to keep the Glazers in, which obviously we don't want. And obviously, there's I think there's another 2 or 3 groups as well, US-led groups who are trying to invest as well for United. So apparently, they're going to be all at Old Trafford next week. So let's see what happens there. And apparently, the Elliott Management people were at Old Trafford last night. So I don't know. So for the Southampton, game, I reckon United will win. It's going to be a tough game. I don't think there'll be many goals in it. I think it'd be 1-0, 2-0, something like that. So I reckon United will win, but you never know. I said that against Liverpool, so I just hope that we don't lose. If we lose, then obviously there's going to be question marks again, but. Yeah, I just hope for the 3 points and hope for a 2-0. I'm going to go 2-0 for my score prediction. So anyway, guys, that is going to be it for today. So please like, comment and subscribe. And don't forget to leave your score prediction below. So right, guys, I'm going. Bye.